Hi, Jim and Jenny from Ohio here, and we wanted to follow up our previous video that we talked about brassicas with another, because we did have a couple questions come into our inbox or in our comment section. So what we wanted to talk about, some people wrote in and said they were having a big problem with the cabbage moth, and if you're having that problem and you haven't covered your crop yet, what you can do to get rid of the cabbage moth is just blast your plants with a good stream of water. Now before you do that, pick as many of the worms off as you can, but then just blast your plants, try to move the leaves around. You want to get as many of those eggs off of there as possible. And once you've got that done, then go ahead and put your Agribon cover. Now a couple people were asking about the hoops that we were using. They were talking about the material and the snap clamps. So I've got some of those set aside. I'd like to show you what we have. The hoops are simply made out of 1/2-inch electrical conduit. We picked this up at our local Home Depot store. They're about $1.50 each, and it is just the same stuff you use for electrical wiring. The piece of pipe starts at 10 feet long. Now the hoop bender that we bought from Johnnies Seeds is designed to bend hoops that are 4 foot tall by 4 foot wide. They also sell several other hoop benders that will bend the hoops into different shapes. When you get the hoop bender, it'll look just like this, and the idea is you simply mount this. You can either clamp it or screw it down onto a wooden surface. It has a loop in one end. You stick the conduit in, I think it's 16 inches in, and then you bend the conduit around the surface here. Move the pipe around so that the other end goes in, and you bend that end, and you end up with a nice uniform shape for all of your hoops. The clamps that we use are specially designed for the size or the diameter of the metal conduit you're using. It's simply a C-shaped piece of plastic. You put it on and simply snap it into place. Now one thing you have to watch out for is when you put your Agribon cover on, since it is a very lightweight material, the corners of these clamps we found are pretty sharp, and it will tend to tear through the Agribon material. So it is important that you overlap the material from time to time and then snap the clamp onto the place where the materials overlap. We'll go ahead and put our material back on our hoops here in just a couple moments, and we'll show you how we overlap the material. A couple of people also asked how we tied off and closed the ends, so we'll show you that process too. Now before you put your Agribon covering on your hoops, you want to make sure that it is a totally windless day. When we first tried to put our material on, the wind was blowing probably about 5 or 6 miles an hour, and we found that the wind would just grab the material. It would open up like a big parachute. It about pulled us across the yard. So you do want to put it up on a day that is dead calm. So we'll go ahead and get the material in place, then we'll show you how to clamp it on and tie it off. Okay, so now we have the Agribon material simply laying in place onto the hoops, and Jenny's going to show you how to tie off one of the ends.
Hi everybody. We just gathered it all in a big bunch and tied it around a pole.
It's like wrapping up a big Tootsie Roll.
That's it, right there. That's what we did.
Then to make sure that this knot doesn't come undone, we then take a piece of twine and wrap it around this, and that just holds this material knot in place. Okay, so that's one end tied off. Now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and put the snap clamps in place, and then we'll tie off the other end. Jenny's going to take over the camera, and I'll start messing around with the snap clamps. Now before we get started, I would like to point out that the Agribon material has some writing on it right down the center line. So you know that that's the center, so as long as you line that up with the center of your hoops, you shouldn't have any problem on either end with enough material on either end to put your clamps into place. I'll start out by clamping up one of the sides. So what I'm going to do basically is raise the cover and then overlap it, so there's basically going to be 3 layers of the material in one place. And then I'm going to put the clamp over those 3 layers. That'll keep the material from becoming ripped. Go ahead and do one more. We do one on each of the legs, and then we do one down the center line on the top. Now I only put it on the top on each of the ends, and also one in the middle of the hoop system. I think you've got the gist of it now, so hope you try this method, and if you try it as well, I hope it works out as good for you as it did for us. Take care, thanks for watching. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe. See you later.